No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Today, I'm very, very happy to have the one and only Baka Not Nice on the podcast. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me, G.
You definitely fall into the category of somebody that I never thought I would meet, because when we first found out about you through the music, that was part of the folklore. It was like, you're never going to meet this guy. He never leaving Canada. There's been a few artists over the years where that's kind of the rep that they got. It's like, you'll never get to see this guy perform. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, man. I honestly didn't think I was gonna get it over here either, man. Wasn't an easy task neither, but we got it done
Is this your first time?
legally.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so this.
I mean, when I say legally, when I was coming in with the boy previously, it's just a thing where they never asked me any questions about anything.
That's the exact opposite of everybody else coming in and out of Canada, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, it helps when you fly private too.
I bet it does. Little life hack. Spend 20, 30 grand on a fucking private plane for the flight. Don't have to worry about shit.
Yeah, just keep it moving.
There you go. I'm really just interested in learning exactly where you're coming from, though. So let's talk about your early days of what it was like coming up in Canada.
Oh, man, yeah. I guess you could say like I was just troubled youth, you know, coming from a broken family. Parents got separated. One lived in Montreal, one lived in Toronto.
How'd they get separated? They just divorced?
Yeah, they were married and they got divorced. I guess shit wasn't working for them. My dad was a musician and my mom was just, I guess, a homemaker or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And it never worked out because I guess he was on the road a lot or whatever. But yeah, got into trouble early age. Got a prison term.
But what age was that?
My first prison, I did two federal bids. My first one was when I was like 17.
So the underage shit doesn't work the same as it does in the States? Because in America, it's like if you get caught up at 17, you're not going to get punished half as hard as you would at 18, I think.
It's still kind of the same thing, but what happened was my case kind of went over to when I was 18. Because I basically turned 18 a month later.
Right.
So I was still an adult. So basically what happens is you get found guilty. Sorry, they send you down to the feds. So I got 2 years and I think it was 6 months or something like that for robberies and stuff.
Right.
And then I got out and I was out for 30 days, man, on parole. And I got charged for attempted murder and I got 13 years.
Holy shit. So when you look at the stuff that you were doing early on, like just the attempted robbery, that kind of stuff, did you turn to that kind of stuff? Was it that you just had nothing, like you didn't know anything else? Or was it the kind of situation where you had certain people sort of pushing you, telling you that this was a normal way to get some money?
No, what it was I got to the point where like I was like kind of fed up, you know, whether it was my mother or my dad just living under the rules and regulations of the house and shit. And I just wanted to do my own thing, you know. My parents, well, my dad was strict. He was into the church, so it was always church. And you know, I didn't get no time to do my own thing, so that was a rebellion in itself. And then my mom was just overprotective, you know. So I guess that's what kind of caused the rebellion. And then I was just in the streets. I kind of left home and never came back.
Did your parents map out like a future, like what your future might look like? Was there a certain thing that you thought that you were supposed to do with your life? Did they want you to go to college? Did they want you to get a certain kind of job?
Oh yeah, for sure. My dad always wanted us to get our education. I'm sure my mom did too, but my mom was a little different. I never spoke about my mom before, but my biological mother, basically, she took off like when we were young. Like I think I was 15, 16 or something like that. And she, you know, like you have a mom and a dad, and you would expect like your dad's supposed to be the G, the gangster. Not saying, I'm not taking nothing from him, but he was just in the church, so he wasn't on that street stuff. But my mom was.
Really?
Yeah, so she was just involved in the street stuff. I believe she took like a whole bunch of money from the government and said, fuck you, Canada, and just went back to her country, which is Barbados.
What?
Yeah, started her new life. Just left her kids and everybody.
How do you take money from the government? I would love to do that if somebody could tell me how.
Well, I think it was just back then, like, that's when, like, that whole student loan shit just started.
Okay.
And they were just giving money away. And I guess she found some type of scheme and it worked for her. She got her bag and cut.
Early scammer.
Yeah, for real.
That's dope.
For real.
That's crazy. So okay, you started getting into the street type of life and everything. Where you're coming from? Are you like joining a gang? Is there even an equivalent to that, or is it more just like everybody's going about their own things, figuring out their own hustles?
It's not like America. Maybe now it's you're starting to see that pop up now, but like back then it wasn't like that. Back then it was just like, yo, you grew up with some dudes in your neighborhood, you guys bonded, maybe another one or two other guys from another neighborhood, and you guys just come together and you guys just bond. And it's we never called it a gang, like, you know what I mean, like Bloods and Crips. It wasn't like that, but there would be like a name for the set, I guess, but it wasn't like a gang, like Bloods and Crips. But now it's getting like that.
They're starting to. I feel like that's how it always happens over time. Even when you look at America, it's like all the different regions of America over the past 10, 15 years have sort of been infected by this idea that every different gang, every different crew of dudes needs to at some point sort of label themselves as something, so it's easier for people to understand.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. When you talk about like being in the streets out there, though, what in Canada? People are smoking a lot of weed. People are definitely drinking a lot. We've all seen Trailer Park Boys. But is there like is everybody doing coke? Is heroin big? I know it is all the way over in Vancouver and shit. But is it the same sort of thing on the East Coast of Canada?
I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. It's the same thing everywhere, brother.
Okay.
I mean, I know everybody has this stigma about Canada. You know, like you guys probably think that we all live in igloos and shit like that.
Not I. I was just in Montreal the other day. So I've been going back. The first time I ever drank in my entire life was in Montreal, drinking a fucking
real?
Mike's Hard Lemonade in a parking lot. Because I grew up in New Hampshire. It's like a 5-hour drive to Montreal.
I was born in Montreal, by the way.
Yeah. That's where, like, because growing up, it was like I would go on a BMX trip with some of my friends, and we would go up to Montreal, be able to buy porno magazines, be able to fucking drink.
Yeah.
We thought it was the greatest shit on earth.
Yeah, Montreal's cool when you're
Oh,
growing
yeah.
up, man.
That's the best.
Selling liquor in the gas stations and corner stores. It's not like that where I come from. You gotta go to like liquor stores and beer stores. And
But
stuff.
did you grow up like right in the city, or did you grow up in like the outskirts of town or something like that?
When you say city, you mean downtown or?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, nah. Where I came from was Scarborough.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's
okay.
like the burbs, I guess, a little bit like that. But yeah, it's not like downtown, but it gets rowdy, man.
gotcha.
It's lit.
So you catch this charge, and is it the kind of thing where it's normal for you get caught up out there and you get 2 years just for a attempted robbery type thing, or is it the kind of thing where they're giving you chances and trying to keep you out of that system? Because we talk about the prison system out here like it's just so unfair and fucked up. Do you have the same impression of it?
It's the same thing, man. Same thing. And it's not attempted robbery. It's armed robbery.
Oh, okay, armed robbery. That's what I keep meaning to say. Yeah,
It's
my bad.
attempted murder. I got charged.
There you go. Okay, I'm combining charges. So yeah, but then you get into the prison system. Were you like shocked? Were you ready for this in any way?
I'll be honest with you, I wasn't, because by the time I got down to the federal system, I was 18. And sorry, it's just a thing where like, bro, if you're real, I mean, it's just a situation where when you land, you just gotta get yourself together, man, and figure shit out quick. You gotta learn a lot of things by yourself. Because a lot of guys down there are not trying to teach you and trying to help you out. If anything, they're trying to fuck you over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially being a new fish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So,
it's stuff like when we talk about gang stuff, it's very much like the gang stuff or the prison stuff. We think the gang stuff matters, the race stuff matters. Are people sort of organizing in a similar way in Canada as well?
it's race in prison. It's all like that's how the groups are sectioned off.
I think that's what they say out here too. Is that like your blood or crip shit don't really matter that much once you get to jail.
Oh yeah, I never did time out here.
That's what people say,
I thought that's how it ran out here though. I thought it was the gangs.
They just always say that once you go to jail out here, that it don't matter. You'd be cool with some bloods. That if you were on the street and you saw them, you'd be going crazy. But in jail, it just kind of ceases to matter. But yeah, did you make it through pretty smoothly, or do you have any issues during your initial bid?
No issues, man. Like what I told myself, man, because when I first got my time, I already said like, yo, I'm basically married to this shit, man, because you can't step into this and be halfway in and halfway out.
Right.
Because you're gonna lose your life, or you're gonna be fucked up or labeled or whatever, a rat, snitch, goof, whatever you want to call it, you know. So I said to myself, like, if I'm doing this, I'm gonna do this all the way. So, and what I mean by that is like snitching, all those things are not in my vocabulary. Being solid is, you know what I'm saying, and staying true, and never telling on the weaker guy, or never telling. Period. That's just my motto. So, I had to tell myself that. And once I came to terms with it, then it is what it is. I just keep it real all the way through. I don't change, and I haven't.
When you were in there the first time though, was there any part of you that was starting to tell you like you were meant for something better than this? Had you even begun to identify that you might have the talent to go beyond prison? Was there any dream that you had at that moment?
For sure there was. But again, like back then when I was doing time, there was no idea of me being an artist. None of that. The most that I thought of doing was saying, yo, maybe I could start a label, get some young boys and start a label up. But rapping was never in the cards, because like I tell everybody, like music has always been a part of my life. Like my dad's a musician. He plays the guitar and he sings. So I've always heard music since I was a youngin' till now, like in the house, just always playing different types of music. So,
But were you not making music when you were younger?
No,
You never really got into it?
no, at all. I just understood it and I loved it and I appreciated it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm like been obsessed with it my whole life, but for whatever reason, it's such a thing to become a rapper. And it seems so cozy and easy if you avoid it, because once you become a rapper, then you have to face the reality that you might be a whack rapper, and then you got to carry that around for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So you get out. How the fuck do you end up getting caught up again 30 days later?
See, that's the thing, man. Like where I come from, like my neighborhood is a very small neighborhood. It's basically one street, right? And there's only like maybe 20 guys in the neighborhood really that are active and doing anything.
Right.
But I was the guy that was making the most noise. So when something happened, they would look at me first. So basically that's what happened. A dude got robbed and shot, and the first person they looked at was me, because they couldn't get the actual dude on the scene when the crime happened.
Right.
So I don't know, man, like a day or two later, they came back to the neighborhood and they just came to my house, man. They had a warrant for my arrest and arrested me.
But they arrested you, but they didn't have any kind of proof or anything to go on?
Yeah, they had a disclosure and they said they had proof, which is why I won my appeal, because basically they're saying that the individual that got shot was in the hospital. They took a statement from him. But what my lawyers found out is that would have been impossible for that to happen, because he got shot with a .357 in his stomach. All right? So he's hemmed up. And he's got tubes going down his throat.
Right.
All kinds of shit rigged up. There's no way you can talk to him.
Yeah.
And we found that out through doctors' notes and all that stuff. So we caught them lying and stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I won my appeal.
Oh, okay.
So basically, what the cops did is they went they said they went to the hospital and interviewed the individual.
Right.
Which they probably tried to, but he couldn't talk, and they probably said like, listen, we don't know who shot you, but there's this guy from this neighborhood and he's really bad, and maybe we should just go along with this.
Right.
Because there's no other alternative for me. Like, I know the guy didn't say that I shot him. There's no possible way.
Right.
First of all, he can't even speak.
Right.
But in the disclosure, the cops are saying that they took a full statement from him, that he said that it was this guy who shot him, and da-da-da-da-da.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But you're locked up meanwhile for a long ass time while this is all going through the court system, or what happened?
Yeah, so basically you get arrested and you have to sit down while the case is being brought up.
Right.
So I sat down for like about a year and a half.
That's so fucked.
To go to trial, right?
So crazy.
Right. So
how the fuck are they not at least give you house arrest or something?
See, like that's the one thing about America though that's different from us.
They don't do that out there?
You guys get bail. Like you guys could get bond. I think that's what you guys call it.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Over where I come from, it's really hard to get, especially for like violent crimes and stuff. It's not that easy to get bail.
Yeah. So is someone getting shot in that neighborhood a really fucking big deal because there's just not that much gun violence?
No, there's a lot of gun violence, but it's just a big deal because I guess we don't see as much as you guys get, but it's a big deal because it causes the public to be in an uproar, you know, because they're not used to it, you know.
Right.
So if someone's just getting shot, where like, and people have kids going to school, and it was during the daytime, it was just a bad scene.
Yeah, sometimes when it feels like a really big deal when people get shot here, but then I think about all the times that I know somebody got shot and that nothing happened and it wasn't in the news and like people forgot about it a few days later, and I'm like, that's kind of crazy. That like, I mean, I could think of so many examples. It's fucked. So okay, that time back in prison though, was it more of the same? It wasn't anything too special, or?
Are you talking about the second time?
Yeah.
Well, the second time, I had to figure stuff out as well, because when I went down the first time, I was young and I only spent like, I think like 10 months or 11 months in there. So like when you get time in Canada, it's not, I don't think it's the same as here. Like in Canada, say they gave you 14 years, you will do 2/3 and you'll be able to get out.
Right.
So there's no like you have to do the whole time and then get out.
It's like that a lot of times here too. If you hear about somebody getting 5 years, there's a good chance they're going to do like 3.
Okay, so
If with good behavior and assuming they don't stab somebody in the shower or whatever,
Right.
Okay, but so that time you're starting to really think like, I got to get this shit together, and you're starting to really like strategize because you're getting older. There's a little bit more pressure on you.
Yeah. And I was just trying to come to terms with like what I was gonna do. And like I told you, I was thinking about starting the label thing. But then again, I'm like, how am I gonna do that? Because I don't really know anybody in the music industry, and I know it's not an easy thing to start. But I was just always in my thoughts and saying, you know, well, if you have talent, you know, good things should happen for you, you know. And I know that when I got out on the street, just from making connections while I was down there for all those years, I knew that I'd be able to get the right people that I needed to make this happen if I wanted it to happen. So yeah, that's where I was thinking about. Like while I was down there, I was thinking about getting out and starting a label. That was my thoughts. I didn't have any other like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you know how people go to school to learn how to plumb and all that shit. I didn't have none of that.
No backup plan.
Yeah, because like I was in prison when everybody was doing all that shit. Like going to high school, I was in prison.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a chance to do all of that stuff.
That's the nastiest thing about prison, when you realize that they're really taking away not just somebody's youth, but their ability to become a functioning human being. Like I forget who I was interviewing a little while back, but they were like, you know, I came out of prison at 28. And I had to figure out how to go on a date with a girl for the first time because I missed that whole segment of my life.
Dating when you're young, dating girls and all. I miss all that shit too. Like even down to just using a bank machine.
Right.
You know, even using a bank card.
All that shit in school that you miss out on.
Yeah. The internet, because you can't use the internet. You know, so basically, man. Honestly, when you get your time and you go down below, it's like time stops.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I don't even feel my age.
Right.
You know, I feel like I'm still how I was when I went in.
Right.
To be honest with you, I mean, time has passed since I got out, but when I got out,
for you.
Yeah. Yeah.